What's going on, folks? We on here today for another wrestling rant. It's just a weekly wrap-up of all the wrestling I've consumed this past week. Today we'll be talking about Raw, NXT, Dynamite, as well as SmackDown. I didn't see Rampage or Collision because I was doing something on Collision night and Rampage. There you go. Here we go. On Monday Night Raw, we started out with a street fight with the Wyatt Six and American Made, Chad Gable stable. The match was the match, nothing too crazy, nothing to write home about. The big highlight was the German suplex the girl did on Chad Gable, which, I see what they're trying to do. But I'm not a fan of the spooky stuff. It's just not for me. I'm like, bleh. I'm beyond over the spooky stuff. I like the build-up they got with Braun and Jay. I really hope Jay gets him a singles title. Because, he's like beyond over at this point. My only gripe with Jay is he's all personality. His in-ring work is not clean. Now, that super kick he gave Dragunov was good. And Dragunov sold it like nobody's business. But, Jay just has so much sloppy work in the ring, man. I'm like, dude, you can only get over so much and you not be able to produce anything. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta have a better moveset other than super kicks, man. Other than super kicks, you took the spear from Roman. Just moves that are uniquely Jay's, a couple of uniquely Jay moves tied into those and that are done well. Man, Jay would be money big time. Jay's already money. He's already money, but I think they'll be like be ready to put the title on him. But that all in all, that was my big takeaway from Raw. The other matches that happened were the matches. They have a whole lot of angle setups then, for future feuds and all that, which is fine. Hell in a Cell, Drew and CM Punk, we all knew that was coming. But yeah, that was Raw. That was Raw in a nutshell, pretty much. Now we move on to NXT. I started watching the very first opening and on USA, I was like, oh, it's gonna be dope. It's on USA, and I fell asleep. So after my snooze fest on NXT, I don't know what happened on it. We get on Wednesday night, Dynamite. And we start the show with Danny Garcia. Like, Cave, he had his match with MJF at All Out. He lost. However, I don't understand this push for him. I don't get it. He's a mid-card. They shouldn't have MJF trying to make guys like that. He's a main event talent who should work with other main event talents to draw real money. I'm like, so that was just aggravating to see because Danny Garcia, this is just me personally. I don't understand the push they're trying to give him. I just don't get it. Like, he's a super tough guy. Him or Jack Perry. I'm like, you guys are tiny. You are little dudes. And I'm like, they're trying to make them sound like they're such these tough dudes, man. I'm like, come on. It's not even believable. Then we got Jericho. This whole nonsense he has with Orange Cassidy over $7,000 for his jacket. I get what they're attempting to do. They're attempting to give his jacket a significant meaning, but he already gave it a dollar value, so it's not that significant. And the jacket's ugly. Covered in orange juice, as they say, but it just looks dumb. But, this is one of the dumbest feuds ever. And at the end of the night, when Orange Cassidy dropped change on Jericho's Bentley. Change, mind you. Tell me you're not ripping off Attitude Era stuff. Tell me that you're not ripping off Attitude Era stuff. They tried to rip off when Stone Cold poured his cement in Vince McMahon's Corvette. This was a Bentley, and he dropped change. More expensive car, far more. That seemed like a bout of inconvenience, not one of utter destruction. You have allegedly $7,000 worth of change in your vehicle, dropped on your vehicle, whatever. You might have some damage here and there, but your car's still gonna run. It's gonna run just fine. When the cement got poured into it, well, that was the end of the Corvette. It's like they committed to the bit, but not fully committed to doing it. So, yeah, they definitely want to pay for that Bentley. But I'm like, this has got to be some of the dumbest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Change, actual change. So dumb. Then we got the other nonsense of the Young Bucks having the tag team tournaments and winners get to face up, blah, blah, blah. And this show, I'm like, oh, just get off my TV. Get off my TV. I'm just glad that I don't know if Mercedes was on the show this past week, or I missed it, but I didn't see her. And that's the only thing I'm like, okay, at least she's not on here. Because, my goodness, just them being out there. Then I just skipped the main event, because those matches, I mean, everyone does a whole bunch. Ricochet did a whole bunch of flips, and, you know, his opponent, they are just flipping all over the place. Whoopity-doo. Okay, nothing unique, nothing new. Everyone's diving. I mean, I thought when he did Sammy Guevara dove off the top of the doggone entrance, it looked like he hurt his ankle for real. It really looked like he legit hurt himself. I'm like, oh, great, another injury. The odds of those increase with every dive, especially if everyone does the dive. It's a numbers game at this point. It's just a matter of who and when. That's all it's a matter of. And so, the Ricochet and Guevara match, I say it was entertaining. I mean, they were flipping and diving and all kinds of stuff. I mean, Ricochet got the win, as he should have. I mean, you know, he is the newest acquisition. So, I mean, why would he lose? But, I mean, having him in such a competitive match, I'm like, yo, he's supposed to be, like, getting wins. Not saying they should be, like, super easy, but they shouldn't go, like, 25 minutes every 25 minutes. I'm like, dude, another thing with Ricochet, again, one of the most athletic dudes I've ever seen in professional wrestling. He can't talk his way out of a wet paper bag. Oh my, if he got some good coaching on his promos and actually knew how to deliver it, man, he would be a superstar. He probably still be in WWE. But I mean, he just can't. He can't talk. I'm like, it's painful watching him try to cut promos. Like, it's brutal. If he had a good mouthpiece or something, he'd be great. You know what I'm saying? If he had like a manager or something, he'd be awesome. But dude, it's when he tried to talk for himself, good grief. But that wasn't all of Dynamite. The thing with Dynamite that truly aggravated me the most was the whole Jon Moxley stuff. The thing with Moxley, the fact that, you know, he's trying to act like he's some super tough guy who can beat up the world, but at the same time is losing amateur MMA tournaments at a local high school gym. But he comes out, and Darby Allin comes out too. He tries to say, you're going to give me your title shot. So now they're going to fight him. So Darby Allin and Moxley are going to have a match for Darby's title shot against Danielson. However, Nigel McGuinness has a title shot with Danielson, I think this coming up Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. I think he has a title shot, but he wasn't cleared since Moxley tried to suffocate him. But he has a match with Nigel, and now Moxley and Allin are fighting for their match with utter confusion. It makes no sense whatsoever. No logical sense whatsoever. And from that what did it for me right there. And that happened at the top of the hour. It happened at 9:00. And after that, I was like, I knew it wasn't gonna get better. So I just tortured myself and watched the rest of it, because I'm like, this is who's writing this? looks like they're writing themselves because, like, yeah, I'm going to do this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, my goodness, this is awful. Awful, awful, awful. With no rhyme or reason, just awful. Now we get to SmackDown. Premiere on USA. Already annoyed that they were bleeping out the crowd and you couldn't hear half the announcements. I'm like, oh my, why are we on cable TV if they can't say, you know, if they're bleeping out everything the crowd says? I'm like, I'm sure if it's too obscene, I get that. But I'm like, I'm like, we're on USA and it's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. I'm like, it's not like it's 5. It's 8. It's prime time. Like, come on. Like, come on. And that would annoy me the most about it. Cody's match with Solo, I thought they did good trying to hold up to the rules of a traditional cage match, where, you know, pinfall, submission, or escape. I thought that was fairly decent. Now, when Roman came out, yeah, that was cinematic, the way he came out and slammed the cage. You know, you're all locked in here with me. Then when that face-off between him and Jacob Fatu, whoo, that man, when those two get in the ring together, that's going to be money. And that's how you build matches. You don't have to have the payoff at that moment. Just the anticipation of Roman telling him to come in. And Jacob going in, slamming the door himself, you know, beating his chest up, ready to go, and then Solo pulls him out. Of course, they're not going to give that away. Not for free. No, that's just not good business to do that anyway. So I like that. The cage match was the cage match. I mean, it was okay cage match. Nothing too bad, nothing to write home about. Now, that brain buster Solo gave Cody from the top rope, that looked like it hurt. I'm like, geez, that was a high angle drop. That looked like all your shoulders hurt. But they're going to hurt for weeks because of that move. So then we got it was a whole lot of promos and a whole lot of lead up, a whole lot of build up to the end of the night, where they were going to make a match between Cody and Roman versus Jacob and Solo, which is going to cook like nobody's business. And then it's going to lead to the Bloodline 2.0 versus Roman and crew and whoever that's going to be. I'm hoping they delineate from Roman and Cody's just like, you know what, I'm done with the Bloodline, like he said, and he just wants out of it. So I'm curious to see how they're going to build that up. Well, I was like, where's Jimmy? When is Jimmy coming back? I want to know when's Jimmy coming back. But the other match on SmackDown, Michin got her win against, she got her win. That match was pretty boring. I'm not even going to lie. And I was like, bleh, okay, whatever. Andrade beat Melo, and now he gets a title shot against LA Knight, which is fine. You know, Andrade's not going to win it, but, you know, that match was fine. I mean, Melo probably calls it a match too. Between Melo and Andrade, they put on a set of good matches. You know, I can't knock that. I was getting bored of seeing them because it was the 5th time they wrestled on TV that I've seen. I'm pretty sure have been more in house shows and everything like that. But no, they put on good matches. They put on good chemistry. They put on good athletic displays and everything like that. So that was that. Then some more backstage promos with Jade and Bianca. You know, saying any tag team we get. I hope any tag team we get it. But I hope that's true of every, you know, champion. They can go from whatever show it is. They can go from Raw, SmackDown, NXT. You're a champion. You're supposed to be able to go from show to show, right? To defend your title. So I hope that's the case even with Cody. So that'd be a good reason for him to migrate over to Raw more too, instead of the Bloodline business. But yep, that was pretty much SmackDown. That conclusion when they both signed the contract, they said they wouldn't do it, which we saw coming a mile away. So that was that. And then we got what was that? That was Saturday. Then it was Saturday, yes. Then it was Collision on Saturday night, which I did not see because I was busy. And judging by the clips I seen online, I didn't miss much. I didn't miss much at all. I saw Mariah May attack that some girl from Stardom, and like, okay, who is this? Why are they having a match? But whatever. Then FTR and the 80s guys. You know what? They got something with that. I think they got something with that, with the guys from the 80s, the meatheads from the 80s. I forget their names, but I think they got something with them. As long as they, start booking them with, the nonsense tag teams like the Bucks, or these like trios and all these other thousands of people who got tag teams or whatever. But yep, that was the wrestling I took in this week. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you got, what you like, what you didn't like. Stay tuned, y'all. More to come.